Dallas right now, right in the middle of an auto theft epidemic. We got cases that are up 40% this year, year to year. Police, honestly, they're overwhelmed with the problem, meaning if your car or truck gets stolen, chances are the thief is almost sure to get away with it. The I-Team's Ginger Allen has been digging into what has been a big problem for months. Ginger, I don't think out of control is overstating it, right?
It's not. It really is out of control. I want you to look at this. This is the city's crime analytics dashboard. And here at the very top of the list is motor vehicle thefts. You can see how many there have been so far this year. It is the most committed crime in Dallas. We sat down with Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia to find out why this crime has gotten so out of hand and why his department isn't doing more to catch the thieves.
Less than 1 minute. In most cases, that's all it takes for thieves to steal a car or truck. The crime happens fast. But the police response in Dallas, some victims say, is painfully slow.
I waited and waited. I called back again. I waited and waited. I called back again.
They've done nothing. It's been more of a nightmare than anything.
The auto theft unit never picks up their phone.
Is this a priority for DPD?
It is a priority. It's a priority for us. But like most things, you have to, amongst the priorities, you have to identify what comes first.
And what comes first for DPD, according to Chief Eddie Garcia, is violent crime. He says cases involving crimes against people will always trump property crimes. But he also admits the two are often linked.
A lot of these violent crimes are being committed by individuals that were in stolen vehicles.
That includes violence against his own officers.
Hey, stop! No, no, no! Hey, let me see your hands! Hey! Shots fired, shots fired.
Just last month, what started as a traffic stop of a stolen SUV quickly turned into a gunfight between the driver and officers.
Get cover, get cover, get cover!
And in July, a man driving a stolen rental truck led police on a dangerous chase down the Dallas North Tollway, slamming into more than a dozen other vehicles while trying to get away. Those are two extreme examples. In reality, most auto thieves get away. Last year, Dallas PD only solved 4.5% of cases, meaning more than 95% are still unsolved.
What's your reaction to that? 95% unsolved.
My reaction is that wouldn't surprise me. That certainly, as I mentioned before, it's a difficult crime to solve.
This mirrors a national trend. Police across the country are unable to keep up with a surge in reported vehicle thefts. A CBS News investigation found similar clearance rates across the country, with most in the single digits. You can see here Dallas is fairly consistent with most major cities. Now take a look at the numbers closer to home and how other local cities are solving cases. Arlington, Fort Worth, and Garland's clearance rates are more than double that of Dallas.
There's not a police chief that would tell you they're happy with those numbers. I'm not happy with those numbers. I would tell you my detectives aren't happy with those numbers. But it is not for a lack of effort. It's not for a lack of care.
Garcia says part of the problem is a lack of manpower.
Staffing is always an issue. There's no question about it. When we look at our unit, we have, we're the city of Dallas, a very big city, ninth largest city in the country, and I have about 12 individuals assigned to auto theft.
12 people. Compare that to the more than 13,000 vehicles stolen in Dallas last year, a crippling caseload for detectives, and a world of frustration for victims who feel ignored.
I want to know what you say to those people that are out there complaining about that. Is DPD responding enough to this problem?
Well, I would say we're responding to the problem. We may not be responding fast enough. The most important thing for me is that initial call, the initial interaction that a victim has with a police officer to take the report. We need to increase that. We need to increase the speed as to which we get to that call.
So as you heard, while the clearance rate is extremely low, Chief Garcia says the recovery rate is actually much, much higher. According to DPD, approximately 75% of stolen vehicles are actually found, but that's even if the thief is never arrested.
Well, let's talk about what he said. I mean, take him at face value, right? He says he hasn't given up on it, right? You know these people are working hard at it. But the sheer numbers, they have 12 people They have 13,000 cases. How does that even compute in terms of getting ahead of that?
It's hard to compute, isn't it? And if you noticed off the top when I showed that dashboard behind me, 13,000 is just when we were talking to him.
Yeah.
It's now surpassed this year alone 15,000 auto thefts in Dallas.
Crazy.
It's just since we talked to him. And that actually includes a man, you know, we've talked to a lot of victims. That includes a man that we talked to who had to become his own detective. So you're about to hear how he had to track down his own stolen car.
Everything that the cops should have done, I had to do myself. I had to find the guy, I had to find the parts, I had to go recover the parts.
Yeah, so hear how he connected the dots of his own case and why he is so, look at his car, why he is so frustrated with Dallas PD. That's all tomorrow night when I come back and I have that part of the story.
Okay, look forward to eyes wide open whenever you stop by, man. Crazy stuff. Thank you.
Be careful with your car right now.
Yeah, no kidding, Ginger. Thanks.